we'll start like this. Howard Stern to talk about Biden and his reaction to him dropping out. Donald Trump gets shot. RFK Jr. debates himself. The Cardinals are in a wild card spot. Artie Lange, where is he? We're going to discuss all this stuff and more today, and the MLB trade deadline. And I went to see Limp Bizkit, and we're going to talk about all of that. But welcome in, and I appreciate if you've been here before. I see you. Hi there. Oh, hello, Cindy. Thank you for popping in. If you're here and you're lingering in the background, go in the comments and say hello and tell me where you're from and what you're doing here. I do this not as usual as I used to. Lance comes here a lot and he knows that I should be doing it more. I'm going to try to do it more. You know, life happens, right? Life happens. But everything's fine. So thanks for asking. But again, we're going to talk a lot. There's been a lot going on, right? Has there been too much going on? I think there's too much going on. I got a haircut. Yeah, that's what I did. I got myself a haircut. And they look crooked when I don't know what's going on. But if you've never been here before, well, this is what I do. I come in here, I tell you kind of some stuff that happened on this date in Howard Stern land. We talk about what's going on in that world. We talk baseball. We talk what's going on in the world and what have I been doing? And then I ask what you've been doing. So get in the comments, say hello, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because that's what we do. But welcome to it. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my week. So I went and saw Limp Bizkit with Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman was the opener. There was 4 different bands. I'll show this a few times, I'm sure. Hi there. Hi, Horza. Hawk Tua to you too. Here's a little bit of Corey Feldman from was it Thursday night? Okay, Thursday night. Let me get this set up here so you can see. Hold on. Let's just hit play. It's so simple. Okay, there's that one. And there's Limp Bizkit. Okay, and here's more quick. Anyway, so I just want to tell you a little bit about that. Corey Feldman opening up for Limp Bizkit, and was quite interesting. Most people there were laughing at him, not with him. It's amazing. He goes out and he just acts like he's a rock star, and people are laughing. And he doesn't understand it. And so I thought that was fun. And then Limp Bizkit, after 2 other bands, comes out. And Fred, you could see there, was wearing a wig. I believe was wearing a wig, supposedly, from what I could tell. But it's an interesting night. I don't like, when I go to a concert and the lead singer has to talk incessantly in between every song. Yeah, I like it. A little banter here and there. Hey, St. Louis, how you doing? Hey, we haven't been here in 20 years. We love you guys, blah, blah, blah. But this was just like every song. And then also, let's block some good songs, some of your classics together. I don't want to hear a new song, then, oh, here's My Way. Now, here's a new song. So, anyway, that's my Limp Bizkit breakdown, which I'm sure that's all you were asking about. But welcome in. If you have anything you'd like to talk about here today, anything about my show, I'm still working on getting guests here to be part of this program. I'm going to lean a little heavily more on baseball. I like the baseball. I know people here are coming for the Stern stuff. We'll do that too. I'm going to try to make it a hybrid channel. That's what I'm going to do. But I do. You know what I like to do? I like to look at the charts. I like to look at the charts on this date. Did I? Yeah, on this date. You know what I thought would be fun? This is what I thought would be fun. Lance, you tell me if you think it's fun. And Horza and Cindy and who else is here? Just say hello in the chat. That's what we always like to see, is people chatting. But we talk about top 10 lists. I like the top 10 list. And I'm going to look at the top 10 rock songs on this date in 1991. Why did I pick 1991? Well, first of all, Limp Bizkit came out right around 99. Was that right? Yeah, 98. And you'll be hearing about this a little bit in my On This Date, because on this date, Fred Durst actually visited the Stern Show. Let's look at that, shall we? Shall we look at that? Let's do that before I get into my spiel. What date was that? On this date in 99, on this date, on the Stern Show, Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit was on the Stern Show. What do you think of that? Huh? And I just saw him, and I didn't even, this was before I even looked this up. Howard spent a minute talking to Fred. Howard spent 90% of the interview obsessing on how Fred and Carmen Electra hooked up and what it's like to date her. So that's what Howard was doing with Fred Durst on this interview back in 1999. But that was today, July 22nd, 1999, Fred Durst on the Stern Show. So that's when Limp Bizkit. Oh, by the way, I have some On This Date stuff too. What was the other On This Date? On this date, let me look. Hold on. 1999, Woodstock began. So this on this date, so Fred was in there probably talking about Woodstock. Hadn't been on Woodstock yet, but this is the day one of the '99 Woodstock. Have you seen the Netflix documentary? So my wife was talking about it, and she's like, "I want to watch that." And I watched it without her, and I told her, "It'll make you mad. I think it's gonna make you mad." You know what? It's I don't want to talk about it, but it's just gonna. It made me mad. They blamed everything on Fred Durst and Korn a little bit. But on this date also, 1994, OGA says he's absolutely 100% not guilty. And then on this date in 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested. You know what they found in his house? They found a few heads, some rolling heads, and a few arms. Gross. What a nut. And then Netflix is like, hey, let's go do some documentaries on this guy and bring him back up. Let's make those people families. Let's make them think about what happened to their children. Now, this date in 1991. Now I'm bringing it up. Thank you, Horza. Yeah, so if you have any comments, if you're just joining us, I'm talking about some of the things that happened on this day. We're going to talk about, of course, whatever you want to talk about over the week. Did anything happen newsworthy since I've done a live? I don't know. I mean, I was going to wear something on my ear, but I have hair in my ear, so I didn't want to put anything on there, because then if I put something on there, it would rip the hair right off my ear. But what I was talking about was how I like to look at the top songs on this date. And we'll talk about the Stern Show. We'll talk about what's going. What do you think Stern's going to pop on? Like, everyone, he's supposedly in Italy, right? But no one has seen any photos or any sort of contact from him. But I was looking at 1991 on this date, the rock chart. Why I find this interesting is because, I think 1991 is kind of the last year. It's actually, well, probably 90, but 91 is when we get Nirvana's album out, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. Oh, by the way, happy posthumous birthday to Chris Cornell, who turned 60 over the weekend, or would have been 60. I've realized I really, really liked Chris Cornell, and I didn't even know it until he died. I mean, of course, I love Soundgarden, and I'm starting to really listen to more Audioslave. But his wife put out some unreleased stuff, and I heard it this morning, Fast Car. I miss Chris Cornell. Top 9, Mookie. Hello, Mookie. Thanks for joining. But Chris Cornell would have been 60, and I never saw him live, and I'm pissed at this, and I don't know why I didn't. And I think, on that tour that he was on, like, as I got older, I'm like, ooh, I got to go see this. I got to go see that. I didn't really want to see Limp Bizkit, got to be honest. That was someone else's call. I liked it, though. But if Cornell was out touring, I'd go see him in a second. If he's playing a coffee house. But anyway, I digress. But thank you for joining. Hey, Mookie, thanks for saying hello. And if you're here, come on in, say hello. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me who you'd like to see on this program. Again, that's mostly what happens is I start doing some of the topics that I've prepared for you, and then I start reading the comments, and I might even make a phone call live on the live stream here to Dominic Barbara, Casey. I've done that before here on the live. It's just all you have to do is ask. But ADD Theater, as we go on. Top 20, or top 10 songs on the rock chart of Billboard on this date, 1991. I like to do my Casey Kasem voice, so I'm going to do it. At number 10, we had Extreme. Wholehearted. Who is that? That's not Casey. Who am I doing there? I'm Casey Kasem. Now back to the countdown. At number 10, it's Extreme with Wholehearted, their follow-up to More Than Words. At number 9, Leonard Skinner had a... What? Leonard Skinner was on the charts in 1991? Smokestack Lightning? I don't know that song. Number 8, the Allman Brothers were on the chart in 1991, at the end of the line. Number 7, 1991 on the rock chart. Yes. Saving My Heart. Where? Number 6, Foreigners on the chart. Low Down and Dirty. I did this for Lance, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Number 5, Shiny Happy People by REM. Okay, I've heard of that song. Learning to Fly by the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 38 Special, The Sound of Your Voice, was at number 3. Van Halen's Runaround was number 2. And Guns N' Roses, You Can Be Mine, number 1. There's no Pearl Jam, there's no Soundgarden, but after this date, they take over the rock charts, along with Alice in Chains. Oh, Vince, you really want to call? I don't want to call Casey. I already did that once. Should we call him? We'll see if more people show up. We need more people to see that. We'll give Casey a call. You guys watching his live stream, by the way? Do we feel like he's doing okay? Is he doing okay? I don't know. You Could Be Mine by Guns N' Roses, number 1 song in 1991 on this date. And I just thought that was interesting that, wow, that's the rock chart. Oh, yeah, so then the next year, in case you're wondering, let's just, the Black Crowes, Sting Me. I love the Black Crowes. I'm going to see them here soon. I'll give a report on that. Joe Cocker, Roger Daltrey, Tesla, Faith No More, Pearl Jam, number 5, with Even Flow. So in 1992, we're finally starting to see some of our bands from Seattle make their way on here. Black Crowes again at number 3 with Thorn in My Pride. Spin Doctors, Lomas Can't Be Wrong. Even Better Than the Real Thing by U2, number 1. He was my favorite, says Vince. Casey. Okay. I don't think Casey has been on in a week or so. Hope he's okay, says Big Boss. What's your go-to at Outback Steakhouse? Well, the fries, right? What are those things called? That's what I eat, Chris. I haven't been in a while though. Is that Outback, by the way, or is that Texas Roadhouse? They have the peanuts. On this date, by the way, we have some St. Louis births. Right? Anybody St. Louisans out there? Ezekiel Elliott was born on this day. You know, he's a running back for, I don't remember where did he play in St. Louis, but he was a Dallas Cowboy for a long time. Steven Jackson, former Ram, St. Louis Ram, also born on this day. Bloomin' onions, thank you. That's what I was trying to say. The bloomin' onions are delicious, and I can eat them. Although, you know, now as I get older, fried food, it's right here. It sits right here, and just so I don't really eat the bloomin' onions as much. Bloomin' Onion Outback rolls. How about the Cheddar Bay biscuit at Red Lobster? Huh? Never duplicated. Or some of these places like we're talking about. How about the breadsticks at fucking Olive Garden? Holy shit. You can't find a breadstick like that. What were we doing? We're doing, it's Selena Gomez's birthday. Happy 32nd birthday. HBK, Shawn Michaels. I have some wrestling fans in this house, right? He's 59 today. HBK lost all of his hair. Happy birthday to HBK. And then a very special happy birthday. This is somebody... I talked about Chris Cornell. I'm like, I need to go see Chris Cornell. I missed that. I didn't see that. No Red Lobster in Rhode Island. What kind of shit state is that? You got to get a Red Lobster over there, Lance. Where's everybody from? Put it in the chat. We'll talk about where you're from and what you're doing and why you're watching this. Again, thank you if you are just joining. What we do is we just sort of come together. We talk. I look at the comments. We just free form, right? I mean, we'll talk about Artie Lange and Howard Stern and music from this date and baseball, all kinds of fun stuff. But what I was saying, today's got a very special 60th birthday. I was mentioning how I wanted to see Chris Cornell. You can't see the others post today. Huh, that's not good. Rhode Island is the ocean state, says Lance. Can everybody else see everybody else post, I hope? I see them. I have a secondary screen going here so I can keep an eye. That's what happens at the beginning when I'm all frazzled because I try to get the secondary screen going and I don't see what's happening because it's the delay. There's a delay. It's a birthday today. I was trying to say I have ADD, so whenever I see a comment I go right to the comments. It's a birthday, and I was talking about Chris Cornell. and how it was his 60th birthday over the weekend, and he's not alive anymore. It's sad. And I would have liked to seen Chris Cornell live. And this person, his 60th birthday, he's been through town many times. It's an entertainer. And he was just here, and I just watched some stand-up of his, and I said, you know what, the next time this asshole comes here, I'm going to go see him. I shouldn't call him an asshole. His name's David Spade. David Spade is 60. David Spade is 60. Holy, do you feel old? Lance? Big boss? All this food talk, you're killing me here. I see you. I see you, big boss. Hello, Chris, with the bloomin' onions. David Spade is 60 years old. Hi, Vince. Lynbrook, but now I'm in nursing home in Island Park. Where? What part? I don't even. Is that a city? I need a city, folks. Tell me the city if it's a city, unless you're in Germany or something. We have a lot of people that come in here from like other countries, which is crazy. John oh my God, Leguizamo. Why am I having so many problems with? I know who that is. Leguizamo. Somebody help me. Leguizamo. I'm not going to say it. Who cares? Dave Steeb. Now, where is Ross's Broken Spirit? I did this one for him. Dave Steeb, former pitcher for the Blue Jays. One of my all-time favorites. The guy had the most crazy off-the-table slider for the Toronto Blue Jays. It's his birthday today. He was born in 1957. I'm not good at math, but let's see. I would think that's 64, 5, 6, 7. 67, I would say. Big Boss says Howard's moving to Italy because he loves Italians. Do you think it's possible that if a certain person wins the presidency, that Howard would move out of the country? Because like that's a lot of people say that. Oh, I'm moving out of the country. Has he said that? I don't know. Next to Long Beach. Next to Long Beach, like in California, next to Huntington Beach, which is one of my all-time favorite spots ever. I love that area. Newport Beach. Oh my God. I love that area. If this YouTube thing takes off, I'm going to have a house here in St. Louis. I'm going to have one over in Huntington Beach. I'll probably have something in South Florida and maybe somewhere in Montana. But it's only if this YouTube thing takes off. Oh, Long Island. Why wouldn't I do not want to live in Long Island? But thank you for joining. I read your mind, Big Boss. That's what you're talking about. So he's moving to Italy if the election goes. You know, I don't like to talk politics, but holy shit, how can you not? And how can you not want to watch like the coverage and see what people are saying? What a week! What a week, huh? I gotta be honest. Like the whole shooting thing. I've been watching lots of video on that. I just want to say that. I don't want to say anything else. David Von Erich died in 1984, but this is his birthday. One of the Von Erichs. Don Henley. You know, do you remember? I don't like Don Henley. Does anyone like Don Henley? Especially that when Don Henley he went solo, I guess, in the 80s. But that album in like 1989, like End of the Innocence and Last Worthless Evening, and there's one other shit, slow, boring. I was like, what? Who's putting out music like this? And it reminds me of Phil Collins. How about Phil Collins when he did like Hole in My Heart? That's a terrible song. Salute from Portugal. Hello, Portugal. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Tell us what you're into, Sylvia. What do you need to hear about and talk about? But thank you for coming. I talk to the folks that join. I talk about music. I talk about birthdays. I talk about baseball. I talk about the world today. There's so much trouble in the LBC. Somehow it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O Double G. You sound like an FM classic rock station disc jockey. I don't think that's a compliment, brother. I was never that. I never did any, I did a little on-air television stuff. I'd be like, hey, everybody, and welcome to Kirkwood High School as the Pioneers are taking on the Webster, whatever. Quit looking at your hair. I know, I can't stop. I mean, is this too short? What do you think? You brought it up. Now I'm looking at it. You know I did this, by the way? I know there's not much hair there. I get really hot. Like my head gets really hot. And then it all goes through here. So my hair was really thick and it was like bad. I love when you talk about old Howard Stern shows. Okay. Hey, thank you, brother, for subscribing. By the way, if you're just joining, thank you, brother, for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, I do these once a week, twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. I come in here. You can check out all the other stuff I've done. But I do have super thanks and super chats and memberships. And I have members. People are members of this channel. So take a look at the description for all the good stuff that's been going on here. Because Sylvia mentioned, like, she likes when I talk about the show. I already mentioned on this date that we had Fred Durst on the show, but Howard mentioned in 1999 on this date, he's not going to Woodstock. Is anybody shocked that he didn't go to Woodstock? He said he was thinking about going to Woodstock in upstate New York, but a caller called in today and he said, no, he's not going. Don't think that would have happened. Get Scott. I know Scott Rowland's going to be in St. Louis this week, and I'm not going to be here to see him. Scott is a friend of mine. I haven't called him a acquaintance. Can I tell you a story? I'm going to tell you a story about Scott Rowland while we're here. Thank you, Leopold, for bringing this up. A friend of mine just was in Chicago and told me he was at the hotel bar that the team stays at for the Angels. And he was like, and I told him that's where I was. The night that I turned 30 years old, I was traveling with the Cardinals baseball team at this point for work. And I'm sitting there with the reporter that I would hang out with. And we're having a few drinks at the hotel bar. And at 12:01, the bartender says, "Oh, by the way, that man wanted to make sure that he got your first drink in your 30s." And I look over, and it was Scott Rowland. He's like, "Hey, happy birthday, Brad! That's the first drink in your 30s. Make sure you don't forget that." I'll never forget that. Scott Rowland, Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame guy. He was with Jeff Suppan, who's one of my all-time favorites as well. But I'll try to get Scott on. Scott's very elusive. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. Doesn't like to talk about himself, but we'll see. But more baseball interviews coming, so thank you. I hope you're enjoying that. And again, I thank you, brother Gillum, for subscribing and saying nice things. Is Fred still on the show? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Because they don't really let him talk, right? And then, do you follow Benji on Twitter? It's so strange. Like, he did another live thing. So if you were here last time I was live, which I'm sorry, I tried to. It's been busy. I try to do this once a week, sometimes 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week. Maybe we'll see how many times I can do this week. I might try. Maybe I'll be back Wednesday. Love when we do the super chats, though, and super thanks, just in case you're wondering, and memberships. Benji, did like a weird video at the subway, and he was just talking about how he really likes being around the people of New York City, and he's always like retweeting RFK Jr. stuff. Who knew Benji was such a politiphile? What do you call that when you're into politics? They call it stupid, is what they call it. That's what I said. Hi, I'm Kishi Kishim. Let's go back to the countdown. We did birthdays. I still can't say Glaguzamazamo. You know what, Don Henley, did we get done with that topic? All right. No one was on. Is anybody with me on that? Those albums were terrible. Danny Glover's birthday's today, 78. Lethal Weapon, right? Him and Mel Gibson. What else did he do? Anything? I don't know. Alex Trebek would have been his birthday today. Is he overrated? I mean, I don't know. I put him on here, but I wasn't sure. I like these when I get to do the movies from this date, and I always love the year 1984. Does anyone know that I love the year 1984? You know why I love the year 1984? This was the top movies in 1984 on this date. Premiering in 917 theaters, Purple fucking Rain. Hello. Ghostbusters was number 2. It had made now 150 million at this point. The Jungle Book from Walt Disney this was its 877th weekend release. Gremlins back out there. It's now it's at 115. This is its 8th week, 115 million. The Karate Kid came out, or was out. This was its 6th week, and then The Never-Ending Story. No, Back to the Future is 1985. Are you Matt from Little Women, LA? No, I'm not. Should I know who that is? Hi, Jack. Prince. You know what I saw? I went to the movie theater. I've done a lot since the last time I went live. That's why, I need to get back to the people. Not Minions. What's that thing called? Can I do a traffic report? Let's try it. All right, let's see. That's right, the 270 southbound, definitely some traffic here as there's an accident at Doherty Ferry that's blocking the right lane. You don't want to be messing with that. On Highway 40, heading east, there's a stoppage in the middle lane. That's all I got. I've never done traffic. I do weather. I do like to do the weather. I like to do some weather, but that was the first time I've ever attempted traffic. Why do you need traffic on the radio? Like, if you're getting ready to, am I the only one that does this? When I'm going somewhere and I know there might be a little bit of traffic, I look. I take a gander to see, okay, am I going to be in any trouble here? And if you are in traffic, don't you just go to your phone and try to look and see, oh shit, that thing's red. That's my traffic report. Hey now, nice haircut, says Callie. Yeah, you know what, Callie? We haven't talked about my hair yet, but thank you for asking. I got a little off the sides here. What the hell is this? I know, what the hell is this? So if you're just joining, thanks for asking. What is this, Lance? Let's tell him. Gazunky. Well, this is a channel that I have had here for many years, but the past 5 years I've interviewed former Howard Stern people that were on the show or associated with the show. And so I would interview them and ask them questions about being on the show, and the Tracy Millmans and Tom Chiasanos, Tim Sabian. Hello, Oxy. Thank you for joining. And so that's really what the channel became. And then I started kind of doing like little live reports, like, oh, what's going on with the show? And then we just started doing live stuff to see what people would come here and talk and want to be part of this. And then people, it's Gizunky, as I talk straight to you, I start reading the comments in this live thing, and we started like a little community thing. And then people say, hey, you know who I'd like to see on the show? Blah, blah, blah. And then I talk baseball, music, and I go off. I like to just sort of have stuff ready in case there's no comments. But we're starting to see some folks come in. So thank you for coming in, Oxy, and thank you, Doug. Hello to you, Doug. Have I missed anybody? No, he's a nobody. You kind of look like him. All right. Let me make sure I haven't missed any comments here. I just want to make sure because sometimes I go back and I watch myself. Is that weird? And I see that I may have missed a comment, and I don't want to do that. And that's a fake voice. I've never done anything where I'm like, hey everybody, welcome back. What I like to do is my Casey Kasem impression. And what I really like to do is I like to look at baseball cards. This Johnny Bench. Have you seen, if you go to my channel, the first video you should see is this guy, and he gets pissed off at me. And I ask him a very innocuous question. Gazunky, thank you for asking. Okay, fair enough. How about Stuttering John? Stuttering John's been on the show. If you check my archives, you can see that Stuttering John, he was one of the first Stern members, and he was sort of the reason why I started this channel the way it became a Stern channel, because that video had a ton of views, as did KC. Stuttering John came through town, did a stand-up gig, and was not great. I gotta be honest. Believe it or not, Stuttering John, not great at stand-up comedy. But we did hang out with him after the show. Like, we drank beers with Stuttering John. And then we were trying to leave. He's like, no, guys, don't leave. I still got more stories. I have beer to drink. I've never done a Stuttering John impression. As a baseball fan, have you ever been to Bull Durham Stadium? Darth Nihilus. Have you? No, I have not been to, and I would like to do that. Have I spoken to Hansy? I know. What's going on with Hansy? Is it Hansy or Hansi? I always screw that up. Everyone wants me to get him, and then I have Bigfoot's number. I'm still afraid to call him. I don't have Hansy's number. And so some of the folks that I've named before that I would like to talk to Angry Alice. I'd like to talk to Wendy. I have to get back. So my friend Clownvis. Do you guys watch Clownvis? Anybody Clownvis fans here on this channel? Clownvis, Wendy watches his program all the time. And Clownvis has a nice following, but it's not huge. But Wendy's on there all the time. So I asked Wendy to come on this. I got to do that. You got a signed Johnny Bench ball. How about that? Yeah, if you go to my channel, you'll see one of my first interviews as a child. The younger Brad, almost as handsome, only younger. And Bench yells at me. So if you've never seen that, it's the top. It's got the most views on my whole channel, like 400,000, 500,000 views. It's the first video I ever put out there. I'm like, this is too good. I used to do a cable access show. You know, it's funny. I watch these channels. I love what the kids are doing today with the YouTube. Now, I'm not a kid anymore, but if I was a kid, this is what I would be doing. The Bat Boys, Disarm. Do you guys watch this? Do you care? They're like kids, and they go and they go to a stadium and they try to sneak in and stay. My God, that's what I was doing. I'm going to put one out that I did in 2000. I went to the All-Star game, and I was doing what they were doing. It's just, there was no YouTube then. It was only public access. Any new interviews coming up? I have a few scheduled that I'm trying to wrangle in, so stay tuned. Subscribe, keep the notifications on, because I'm going to be doing some new interviews coming up. Hopefully, just do it now. It won't be weird at all. What's that? Do what now, Horzo? Thank you, JPP. Appreciate you coming in. Still trying. Yes, we're still trying to get some folks on the program here. Jackie or Artie. Jackie's been on 4 times. I should try to get him back on. I think we get Jackie. You want to see Jackie? What would you want me to ask Jackie that I haven't already asked him? That's my thing. I'm like, what is there to ask Jackie? He's great. Hello, King. Thank you for joining. You're a member, I think, right? Stuttering Vic. He didn't have a great stutter, but it was fun, wasn't it? And where am I going to find him? I don't think I'm going to be Googling Stuttering Vic and find him. Jackie is great. He's a good sport. Of course he is. I love Jackie. Jackie was as one of the few, like he was one of the, came right on. It was great. I love that I know Jackie. I think Jackie bought a shirt. Like I have a shirt shop. Let's talk about, there's products, by the way, if you like Stern stuff. Buy some products. Give old Brad here a commission if you're interested in some of the products. Also, I do this live and then I put it back out on tape. So if you're watching on tape, this is what we do live. And so you can be part of the community. Come on in and be part. Also, as always, check out the super chats and super thanks if you're really enjoying this and you're like, man, I like that Brad. He does need a haircut, though, and might need a little money for a better haircut place. But you know what? No grays anymore. Get rid of the grays just like that. Oh, don't say that. I don't like that. I'm not going to read that Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Yeah, you see Billy and Jackie, I think we're having a conversation on Twitter this weekend. I think Billy went up to the former K-Rock building. Tried to get Billy on, by the way. I've not ever heard anything back from him. I don't know why. I'm going to track him down at one of these Comic-Cons or something like that. And I wanted to have Corey Feldman on, so I started this live stream talking about Corey Feldman. And I did request him. Way too big. It's just too big. Doesn't have time for that kind of stuff. He's busy making music. Did you guys see this? I'm going to show it again. I saw Corey Feldman live just a couple days ago. I showed this to the folks here. But let's since you're all kind of coming in. It's so simple. This is in St. Louis. There's it's Limp Bizkit. Here's it. So simple. With so much time. It's so simple. You know, there's a lot of people when I was a kid thought I looked like, they said I looked like Corey Feldman. But he was here in St. Louis opening for Limp Bizkit. And so, by the way, yeah, could not get him on this program. What do you think Sal and Richard will do once Howard is done? Any chance they do yeah, I think they'll do a podcast or something. Well, they're doing, now if you come here and watch my channel, Billy Mira was on graciously, and I feel bad because I may have titled something incorrectly on one of my channels. He called me at like 5 in the morning. Anyway, but Billy Mira and the Hitmen, him and Sal and Richard go out and do this goofy stage show, and it's actually kind of fun. It looks kind of fun. I kind of would go see it, I think, because I like Billy. And they're just kind of goofy, so I think they'll do something like that. Big time. I wasn't trying to be mean. It was just the first thing I seen. I guess you look kind of like Rachel. Rachel Maddow. She's hot, right? I do look like Rachel Maddow. God damn it. Now I gotta really... Where's my wig? I need a wig. She's the most annoying. Is she not annoying? Or anyway, that is shitacular. Corey is shitacular, I mean. Give KC the Beef Boys and grease his beep. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll. Let's drift away. Those songs were pretty. Was that? No, I look like goddamn Rachel Maddow. Let's do a side by side. We're definitely gonna have to get a new haircut here. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness. Let's not use that picture. She has more hair. She has more hair than me. Whew. This is the saddest day of my life. I mean, I was like, when I was a kid, I thought I looked like Corey Feldman, but I look like a guy named Rachel Maddow. Well, I look like a younger you, Keith? Well, that's good. I like being like a younger you. Yeah, that stopped me. That stopped me cold. It did. Cindy, what do you think? Man, Cindy's here. She likes to call me after the show and tell me. It's funny because my mom used to, I used to do a television show in St. Louis for many years, long time, 1993 to like 2002. It was a public access show. And my mom would always, I didn't like when you said this. Huh? Well, now Cindy, my mom's sister, is here, and she'll text me after and say, I didn't think that was funny. Anyway, I bailed out, but now I can see the comments. Very good. I needed that laugh. Thank you. All right, big time. I had some fun with that, but boy, that's not good. Is that? But she's kind of a handsome man, right? If you were, whatever. You've stopped me cold, folks, with the Rachel Maddow thing. Thank you, Cindy. There's my Aunt Cindy. What else did I thought I had more material here. Let me take a look. I was like, Corey Feldman. Oh, I'm going to talk baseball. Do you guys want to talk baseball at all? We don't talk baseball at all. Are you keeping up with the Shuli versus starring John Beef? I mean, isn't that just every day, Jimmy? Hi, Jimmy. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I mean, I see it. I don't keep up. I'm not part of the Dabble. Is it the Dabble verse? I know that's. I really honestly didn't even know that was the name of it. I've talked to Shuli, it's been a while. I've talked to him about 2 months ago about getting him back on here. It's possible we'll get together and do something again someday. She is a good-looking guy for sure, says Big Time. Tata Toothy, says Mama Monkey. Cindy can just tell me about my hair. Thank you very much. Is the Bill Buckner the worst error ever? Now, what do you mean by that? Worst error ever? Let's think. I mean, yes, it's an error. I don't... You know what about that play, by the way? Does everyone know we're talking about 1986 World Series Buckner? Why do I have to explain this? If I have to explain this. I don't think Bill Buckner, even if he may... No one ever talks about this. This is a hot take for the 28 people in here, or however many people are watching on tape. I don't think Bill Buckner gets over, or Bob Stanley, gets over to first base to make the play, even if the ball is caught by Buckner. I feel like Mookie's racing down the line, and he's going to be safe at first, and the game's over then. What do you think of that take? Anyway, Shalom says Big Time. But it's one of my all-time favorite, oh my God moments. I was a kid when that play happened. I don't remember, I call them yell at the moment television, yell at the moment, yell at the TV moments is what I'm trying. You got me, this Rachel Maddow thing's got me all flustered. Bartman, Steve Bartman, when that happened, Albert Pujols home run in Houston in 2005, and then this Buckner thing, yell at the TV moment. Hot take, Callie, that's right, that's what I do. The worst one was the Cub fan who ruined it. Steve Bartman is his name. And he didn't ruin it. He did not. All he did was the ball was coming to him. It's not like he reached over. Bartman, I mean, it's funny. I'm totally love when Cub fans and Cub, but he didn't do anything wrong there. The Cubs are just, the Cubs, they should have lost in 2016, and they still wouldn't have won anything because they ruined it after that. They got so damn lucky with the rain delay. They were going to blow that game. But anyway, he didn't. He's by himself. He was just there. Let's go to the map. We're going to go and take a look at this play, and we'll see if that really... Yeah, there's me. There's me doing my live stream as I look this up. Let's take a look. All right, we'll put this up there for everybody to look at. All right, foul ball. He reached. Okay. But everyone's reaching. And then Moises Alou didn't help. Let's take a look. It's in the stand, and the other guy reached too. Hey. Do not call me Mr. Maddow. How about them Tigers had a great winning streak? Scooble's going to get traded, right? Tariq Scoobel and Jack Flaherty also going to get traded, I think. Let's take a look at the standings. We got some baseball on tonight. The All-Star game, man. You know what? I'm so sick of. I'm sorry. I hate to say that. I hate these uniforms. I don't usually care about the uniforms, but come on, just let these guys wear their normal uniforms. Let's stop with the frickin' pajamas. Sparky for president 2024. Thank you for asking. Sparky doing great. He's upstairs just gnawing on some chicken bone or something like that. Biden retired and went to the water treatment plant with DJ Danny D, says John Andrews. I don't want to miss any comments. That's for sure. Tigers have won. Well, they're 7-3 in their last 10. There's 6 out of the Central. Let's look at the wild card. 6 out of the wild card. I don't know. I think they're going to sell. I think the Tigers are going to sell. What about the ump that called the runner safe to ruin Armando Galarraga's perfect game? An error on the ump. That was pretty terrible. That was terrible. You know, if we had replay, that wouldn't have happened. But we didn't have replay. And you know what's great about that, by the way? Everyone remembers Armando Galarraga. You know what I mean? So I think in the end it worked out for him. Okay, Cindy says the uniform sucked. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate that. Sparky for president. I know we talked about that. Yeah, if you guys have never been here before, Sparky used to be my co-host. And then I got too enamored with him being my co-host. He's my dog. And then he got sick. I had to take him to the hospital. He almost died. But now he's great. So thanks for asking. Yeah, what was the umpire? Oh, what was his name? Big mustache, Jim. Well, let's look it up. You know what? We got this thing called Twitter. Or no, we got Google. Armando Galarraga. And the reason I say it like that, it was Jim Joyce. Yeah? Hold on. Still don't have the name of the umpire. You'd think it'd be right there in the front. Jim Joyce. I have to respect the apology. Jim Joyce is the name. Bye, Lance. Thank you for coming. That ump was the same one who said Worrell was late to first base. You're talking about this? Is that? That was Denkinger. Now let's take a look at this. Foot on the bag. Ball in the glove. He's out! God damn it, he's out! I don't know. False outrage. I think I hit my head with I'm gonna start bleeding. I need more hair because I hit my Rachel Maddow head right there. Rachel Maddow. I'm gonna miss Biden. You know what I'm gonna miss about him? I'm gonna miss the whispering. He'd say something, you know, who does it? I mean, I'm obviously the best impersonation person in all of the land, Dana Carvey. But so when he found this out, he's like, this administration's doing great things. We're doing great things. That's my attempt of doing a Dana Carvey doing Joe Biden. I love the Johnny Carson. I did not know that. This wild, wacky stuff. How about that Dana Carvey was doing that stuff like as Johnny Carson was still on the air on the same network? It could have ruined his career. Fortunately, it did not. Bro went to Great Clips and said, give me the Maddow, you son of a bitch. Well, it was $12.99. I had a coupon. This is so bad. And Cindy, is this bad? What do you think? You would tell me, right? You're a family member. Even my family was like, what the fuck did you do to your head? Well, Kat's going to love yeah, I'll have to tell her about that. Well, I appreciate the laughter, everyone. We're having fun. Have I gone through all the stuff that I wanted to talk about? Let's see. We haven't talked. Let's see. What's going on tonight? We got Cardinals Pirates, of course. Andre Palante taking on Mitch Keller. Buy one, get one, shampoo and wash. You guys are assholes. Tigers and the Guardians tonight. I talked about Skubal. Is this his last start? We've got the trade deadline coming up, right? Is that coming up? Well, today's the 22nd, so it's next week. But this is the time when we can start talking trades. So if you guys want to jump in with your hot trade takes, they're never right? Who do you think the Cardinals are going to? Let's just say there's not a family reunion coming. Okay, Cindy, you didn't stop bogarting the comments, all right? I didn't. Anyway. Mets Marlins finish off their series. That's been entertaining. Reds Braves. Braves not looking so good. I mean, if the Cardinals can come in and do what they did. Oh, they took 2 or 3 of the Braves? What's wrong with the Braves? Only 10 games over 500. What else? We had the Yankees big win today against the Rays. You know, if I was a betting man, I would have bet the Yankees today. I would have. You know what I like? Do you guys bet baseball? I don't. But you know what I do like if I did bet it? This no-run first inning stuff. You know, it's a good. You can see that trend happening. Like if you know the team has this, like the top 3 hitters aren't really doing much, like the Cardinals most of the time. Anyway, Brewers and Cubs big series tonight. They get going at 7:05. Should I do some more traffic? That was fun. I did a little traffic. We can do some weather here in a little bit. I talked about my Limp Bizkit concert that I went to. We've gone 40. Yeah, I always look at that timer, and we're at that 45-minute mark. Now, normally we get a few more people in, and that's okay. But if you haven't hit the like button, just do that right now. Go, oh, Brad, thanks for being here. I'm going to like this because you made me laugh with the Rachel Maddow bullshit. Trout to the Yankees. Is he even playing right now? Trout? Do you want Trout? Does anyone want Trout? I mean, he's sort of no longer. Thank you. Whoever's hitting the like button, thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I would want Mike Trout right now. Appreciate the likes. Thank you. And go ahead and just put something in the comments. Add some stuff to the algorithm. That's what we're trying to do here. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications. I do this every once a week, twice a week sometimes. I do set it up so it's early so you can see, hey, look, Brad's going to come on around 4 o'clock today, Central Time. And I try to make you laugh. That's what we do. We try to make you laugh. And hopefully I've done that to you today. I think I'm going to wrap up now, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about. What do you guys? I haven't shown you the back, though. Have you guys seen the? I'm not going to. Let me see if I can do this without getting up. I'd rather not get up. Here's the back. How's that look?